The Russian military forces in Syria are nominally protected by an S-400 air defence system as well as S-300 based on Russian naval vessels in the Eastern Mediterranean and a variety of lower level point defence and medium range systems. So what that essentially means is that the Russians have the capacity to shoot down at least some of the missiles launched in any US cruise missile attack. It's notable that last year, when the US hit Sherut Air Base with 59 Tomahawks, Russian defences did not fire. There are several possible reasons for this, which have a bearing on today. First of all, typical practice would be for the Russians to fire two interceptors at every incoming cruise missile, which could very quickly deplete the number of very expensive, very large surface-to-air missiles that they have in Syria. It's also perfectly possible for the US to swamp Russian defences. So if Russia makes the call to start firing at incoming US missiles, they may well run out of missiles before the US does, which would then potentially leave them exposed. Russia is not capable of matching the US in conventional military terms on anything other than very localised sort of geographical and temporal areas where they choose to have a confrontation. The US massively more powerful in conventional terms. Russia, of course, still maintains a nuclear arsenal directly comparable to that of the US, indeed in some ways actually superior. But certainly in Syria, while Russia has deployed quite a substantial air power component as well as land forces and naval forces, were there to be some sort of conventional flashpoint, the US and its allies would probably quite quickly gain the military ascendancy. Of course, the worry is not whether Russian systems could be overcome or suppressed in Syria, but what the escalation would lead to elsewhere. It's very unlikely that the Russians will stand by and let a concerted campaign against the Assad regime go forward, and therefore if President Trump were determined to try and do so, yeah, there's a huge possibility for escalation.